Okay, top of the pass. It's really pretty up here.
The High Lonesome 100 is one of Colorado's toughest ultramarathons, and it's one of a few where the start line is shared equally by men and women. Audrey would be running the 100-mile course, which cuts through stunning and unforgiving terrain, with steep climbs that test even the strongest of runners.
It's hard, and those climbs are no joke.
Having a hard time breathing, a little bit nauseous.
And if the altitude wasn't enough, a foot injury from the season prior may threaten to bring her journey to an early end.
I honestly only hope that I can run some of this today. I'm not sure.
Fortunately, this is one challenge that Audrey wouldn't have to face alone. And for the first time, she'd be joined by two friends to pace her through the back half of the race.
We're feeling good. We're making really good time. We're running.
The sun's coming up. It's a beautiful morning. I think that's going to energize her and help her finish strong.
All right, so we're just popping by the Arc'teryx store here in Boulder, Colorado. I've had a pair of shoes shipped here for me, so we're gonna go pick that up right now. So this is a fairly new Arc'teryx store here in Boulder. It's a really nice store, and what's cool about it is they have a repair center, like a re-gear center, where they can not only just wash your jackets for you and reapply DWR, but they can also do some other minor repairs right on site. It's pretty cool. These are for me.
Our next stop would be at Ross Monster, just outside of Boulder, to pick up the Baja Truck Camper, which would be our home for the next week.
All right. This is us.
Look how high. It's bigger than us.
Yeah.
All right, we are on our way to Buena Vista. My first time out here in the Salvage Range. We just picked up the Ross Monster just outside of Boulder, Colorado, and yeah, we're just driving to Buena Vista to meet up with my friends Coral and Heather, my two pacers. We're gonna meet them for dinner.
The race takes place near Buena Vista, or Buena Vista, as the locals call it, just south of Leadville, Colorado. The 100-mile loop will take runners to an elevation of over 13,000 feet, along the National Continental Divide and Colorado trails, through 2 ghost towns and over 5 mountain passes, with a total of 23,500 feet of vertical gain, all within a cutoff time of 37 hours. Okay, so we're here at camp right near the start-finish line for the race. We actually arrived yesterday evening. I managed to get out for a run this morning, went up to Mount Princeton back there, a 14er, while Audrey pretty much has just been relaxing, preparing her gear, and getting ready because the race starts early tomorrow morning. I'll, of course, be crewing. I'll be driving the Ross Monster here and driving around Audrey's 2 pacers, Coral and Heather. So why don't we pop inside and see how Audrey's doing on her gear prep.
Hi, I'm almost ready. So I've got my starting kit over here, all ready to go. So shorts and t-shirt to begin with, and a 12-liter running vest, and my waterproof jacket, the Arc'teryx Norvan hoodie. Then I have a few other essentials like a first aid kit, an emergency bivy, some gloves, and a buff. We have to carry 2 headlamps, so I have a primary one, this new one from Phoenix, which is fairly lightweight, very comfortable, and so bright. And then I have a backup one that's even lighter, just in case of emergency, basically. I'll be running in the Arc'teryx Silent shoes. I've been loving these shoes this season. It's super comfy, high cushion, rockered, and their grip is super impressive as well. And of course, I'll be wearing my Coros Apex 2 watch. I'll be relying on it for navigation and just to track my course, obviously. If it's not on Strava, it didn't happen. And then over here, I just have some extra kit, mostly like change of clothes and emergency jackets that my crew will be taking to the aid stations for me. But just in case there's issues with the crews getting to the aid stations, I have 2 drop bags that I'll be leaving with the volunteers as well. And it's a little bit more the same thing, more nutrition. I've got my puffy jacket and my rain pants that we are required to pick up at the Cottonwood aid station and the 50K mark. So that's pretty much it. We're just gonna have one more last minute crew meeting to iron out some of the details, and then we're gonna head out to the pacer meeting and the mandatory router meeting in town. Okay, so I just dropped off my 2 drop bags here for the aid station, and now I gotta go clean up my shoes. They're having us do what is called a toad bath to protect some endangered species of toads.
My media pass as well.
Okay, hold that thought. Awesome. They look great. Yeah. What's your name again? Nice to meet you.
So 80 to 90% of percent chance of thunderstorms on the Divide from basically 6 to morning tomorrow night. So you're almost certainly going to get wet. It could be a drizzle, it could be a flash flood. This is why you carry the gear. You're probably going to use it, but I highly recommend just planning on being cold.
Okay, so the night before High Lonesome, and this will be my first time running and racing at altitude, so I'm for sure a little bit nervous. But you know, we've been down here for almost 3 weeks now. We came down early, we hung out at Hard Rock, we spectated, it was a ton of fun, and I did do some decent runs up high as well. So this will be also my first time running with pacers, so I'm gonna pick up Heather first at the Hancock aid station. That's the 50-mile mark on the course. That's the soonest that you can have a pacer, and she's gonna be with me for about 30 kilometers. After that, in the middle of the night, hopefully around 2-3 a.m., I'm going to pick up Coral at the Monarch aid station for the last 50K of the race. So she's going to take me along for a big stretch, most of it on the Colorado Trail, which is supposed to be super runnable. So I think we'll have a lot of fun along the way. Checked in and I got my gear checked. I'm just finishing breakfast here. My pack's ready to go. Got about 15 minutes until the start. I'm really nervous.
So I got my crew socks on today for Audrey. It's good.
We slept last night
We had good sleep.
for the first time.
It
We
was
feel
awesome.
so good.
Sky's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really
Sky's
nice.
beautiful.
Right? Sky.
1 minute, 30 seconds till the count goes.
All right, hey, more ladies up front. It's too many dudes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo!
All right, we're off.
The course starts on 4 miles of paved and gravel roads before joining the Colorado Trail at the base of Mount Princeton. Several miles of rolling single track will take runners through Raspberry Gulch, the first aid station, before they climb 5,000 feet to the high point of the race at over 13,000 feet, passing through Antero Aid while descending into the Chalk Creek Valley. A few miles of Forest Service Road will lead to the ghost town of St. Elmo and St. Elmo Aid, at which point they'll begin the 6-mile out and back up and over Laws Pass and down to Cottonwood, the first crew-accessible aid station at about 31 miles.
All right, so that was a fairly long approach on the road there, just over 3 miles on pavement and then FSR. And now we're up on the single track. Everybody's got their poles out. It's the start of a very long climb to Antero, which also happens to be the high point of the course. So, you know, starting nice and easy. Morning light here is just beautiful. All right, just coming up to the first aid station here at Raspberry 1. I'm gonna fuel up, get a snack, because I think after that, the real climbing starts. Hello. 158. Hi. Audrey. Thank you.
Canadian, yo, girl.
Yes. Hi. Hey, Dana. Good. How are you?
That felt a bit fast.
Thank you. Yeah. Fast start.
Yep.
Hi. 158.
Nice work.
Out. Thank you.
Nice work, Session.
Just settling into hiking here for the next little while until we reach Antero. Cloudy and cool, which is great, but I still managed to run out of water. We're expecting some storms late afternoon, early evening-ish, but honestly it's already looking quite gray and stormy right above us, so those storms might roll in a bit sooner. Just popped out of the tree line here, getting to beautiful alpine terrain. It's really nice. Okay, let's go. A little bit of a false summit here, false flat, and just a little bit more up to the checkpoint. And then we got a lot of downhill after that, which will be nice. Hello. 158. Thank you.
Great.
Thanks.
Howdy.
Hello.
Need any water?
Yes, please. Feeling good, rehydrated. Just stopped to pee in the bush even, so I think we're good on that front. Next stop, St. Elmo. Thank you. Hi, thank you.
So we actually have a couple of policies with the race that are really important. The lottery is the most known one, right? Splitting it 50-50. It's literally 50% women, 50% men on the start line. We have a wait list for women, a wait list for men. So when you show up here to the start of the race, it's a very different feeling than at other races.
This whole section basically was on a long Forest Service road.
Go now.
Hey, hi.
You guys are looking good. So let's go.
Yeah, basically like a long uphill, like false flat, which would be fun to run on, but it's a challenge with the altitude. But almost at St. Elmo. I have a drop back there, some nutrition that I'll pick up before making my way to Tin Cup.
Women are just as equal and capable and deserve just as strong of a spot on the start line.
Run it in.
Hi.
Nice work.
Thank you.
What can I get you?
Hi.
Welcome, Audrey.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, so that was a good pit stop at St. Elmo. And now I'm on the steep climb to Tin Cup Pass, I believe. But the next aid station is going to be Cottonwood. It's like the roughly 50k mark, 32 miles, where I will see my crew for the first time. So that should be nice when I get there. Long way up still to go. Alright, so 8 hours elapsed. I'm really struggling on the climbs. Yeah, just having a hard time breathing, a little bit nauseous. I'm just getting passed a lot. Really looking forward to see my crew. It'll be a nice little reset. But yeah, for now, I'm suffering.
Breathe in, breathe out. Hey, come alive. Breathe in, breathe out. Look at the colors around.
Okay, top of the pass. It's really pretty up here. Good job.
Place woman.
Got it.
112.
So we are at Cottonwood Aid Station. We actually had to park a few miles down the road and then hop in a Jeep to come up the rest of the way because the road was pretty rough for that last section. And now it's a bit of a waiting game. We might still have a little bit of time, but in the meantime, we can see runners coming down from across the creek, and then they're doing a little out and back here to the aid station.
We're just looking at Audrey's time. So we were thinking if it was on 30 hours, she would be here at 2. We're at 2:12 right now. So, okay, cool. I don't think she's going to want to change her product because I was just if it was.
There were a few others from Vancouver in the race, and the first to arrive was Mary-Eve.
Nice work.
She's looking pretty good.
I'd say so.
Big surprise. She didn't think we were going to be here.
Dana you may recognize from my video about pacing the 2022 Hard Rock 100.
Nice job.
I'm getting slightly nauseous on when I'm high. Yeah. This one water, this one
Something else?
none, and this one water as well. It's hard. Yeah. It's high, and those climbs are no joke.
Allô, ça va? Ouais, so.
Évident.
C'est tough.
Ouais.
L'altitude, on sent, hein?
It'll feel better going down.
Wow.
Tu vas te sentir, il y a un party en bas, tout le monde t'attend.
Ah oui, ok, génial.
Ça va être...
Lâche pas. À plus tard. Nice work, Dana. Good job. Having a tough day for sure, but
Do you need a hug?
it's all right. Sure. Yeah. Thank you. Can really feel the altitude, eh?
Oh my God, the
Yeah.
climbs are crazy hard.
It's tough.
My quads are done.
Yeah, same.
Okay, well good.
Yeah.
So I was like,
it's gonna be a long day.
it's gonna be a long day. It's a
Exactly.
big party down there.
Yeah, I'm excited. That'll be a nice little boost.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, keep it up. Less than a mile until the aid station at Cottonwood. Good job.
Woo! All right, Audrey. Hi.
If they have soup,
Yep. I'll grab you.
rice, soup and rice. I'm having a tough day.
Yeah.
It's no, good stuff.
Yeah, so we're here at Cottonwood Aid Station, about 31 miles into the High Lonesome 100, and my wife Jenny is hopefully coming along here in the next half hour or so. Got a message to me earlier, and she said that she was in no person's land. She's like out on her own a little bit, so I think there's like a big bubble that just came through, but yeah, we got a good night of working hard and stuff, so I think she's just trying to plug along, which you got to do at this point in the race.
All right, we'll check your gear for you here.
Good. Got my rain jacket.
Okay, put that back in. Put back anything we've seen.
Everything is seamless. The volunteers are just locked in. The weather's cooperated, which is fantastic. It's getting a little like squirrely out. We'll see what it does. But yeah, I mean, it's smooth, man. It's just feel so stoked, so honored. Volunteers, the team, the runners, the crews. It's just so good, man. Just so high.
Runners will now retrace their steps up and over Laws Pass and back down to St. Elmo Aid. A gradual climb along an old mining road will eventually lead to Tin Cup Aid Station, at which point they'll join the Continental Divide Trail. This long section of single track will eventually reach the second crew-accessible aid station near the old ghost town of Hancock at about mile 50, the halfway point of the race, where Audrey will pick up her first pacer.
All right, have fun out there.
See ya. From Vancouver, Canada, Audrey Lafreniere.
That was a really nice little reset there at the Cottonwood Aid Station. And now I go back up and over Lost Pass. It's a little bit cruel to send us back up and over, but here we go. 6 miles to St. Elmo. Just started raining here. Could be just a little shower, but I'm gonna put my jacket on just so I don't get soaked. All right. Norvan hoodie back on for now. Okay, second and last time up and over Lost Pass. Twice is enough. think I'm about maybe just under 2 miles from St. Elmo too. And it's nice to have a bit of a runnable descent here.
Nice job.
Hello. 158. Thank you.
Drop back.
Okay, so quick stop there at the Hawaiian themed aid station. I ate some more rice and broth. It seems to be sitting pretty well. Now I've got about 4 miles uphill on the Forest Service Road to Tin Cup, and then another 7-ish miles until I pick up Heather at mile 49. The uphill is still quite painful, very difficult, but I'm in good spirits. We'll get there. Fist bump.
What can we get you?
Do you have a medical attendant here?
We do. We got 2.
I would just like some Tylenol if you've got some.
We got Tylenol.
Okay. No, I've got a little bit of foot pain.
Oh, okay.
Under the ball of the foot.
All right.
So I took Tylenol back there trying to manage my foot pain. Same thing I had last year at Higher 100 under the ball of my foot again, the same one. For now seems to be only when going uphill, which is interesting. Something about my form and the push-off maybe. Anyways.
Okay, so it's 7 o'clock. We are back here at camp near the start-finish line, and the weather seems to have significantly improved. We had a quick bite to eat for dinner. The girls had a short nap as well, because of course they're pacing tonight and tomorrow morning. And we just looked at the tracker. Audrey has gone through the last 2 checkpoints right on schedule, and so now we have about 2 hours. We're expecting her about 9 o'clock at Hancock, which is another fairly remote aid station, crew accessible, so we are going to make our way over there now.
Okay, Audrey's looking good. We weren't too sure at Cottonwood because she had a couple things going on and maybe wasn't having the best day. But she's been on a perfect 32-hour pace ever since then. We're expecting her at Hancock around 9:30, which is when Heather will pick her up to take her through the night.
Wow, it's a really pretty section of trail on the Continental Divide here. I feel like I am crawling up this hill, but moving forward. It's really nice forest here. I'm at the high point of this section, so about 4 miles, mostly downhill now, to Hancock. It was a spectacular sunset. I was just popping with red. And now check out that moon. Feel so lucky. Okay. Should work.
All right, Coral, what's going on?
We've got some treats for Audrey, and we're hoping that she eats many of them.
Yeah.
Although I don't know how it's gonna go. We've got some water bottles for her, all the gels she could ever want. I think in the next 20 minutes or so, we've been tracking her for a while, and she's been keeping on pace. And it's a little cooler now, so hopefully she's feeling good, and Heather can bring her through the night.
And quite the party here.
It's good vibes here. There's like an alien theme going on, lots of costumes. We're feeling remorse that we don't have more fancy clothing.
Feeling ready, got my bib on, ready to pick up my girl for my night shift.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
So we are at the Hancock aid station, mile 50. A bit of a precarious drive to get here. It took us a little bit longer. Lots of oncoming traffic. We had to pull over a lot. Lots of potholes, that kind of thing. Nothing the Ross Monster couldn't handle, of course. And despite how crazy busy this aid station is, there's a bull moose in the field, maybe just a few hundred meters over that way. So pretty cool.
Shit's getting weird.
Audrey. Hi. Hi. Straight ahead. We got you all set up.
Okay, thank you.
I would love a burger.
They don't have. Okay, they got pierogies, bacon, different quesadillas, different kind of like little rolls. I don't think they have burgers. How about pierogies and bacon?
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll try that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so how's it going?
That section was really hard for a change. It felt really long. I don't know how I'm doing for timing if I'm still tracking for...
You're great. You're on 32.
Okay, that's fine.
So Audrey came in, clear all she wanted was a burger. We don't have burgers here, so we're making a pierogi burger. We've got pierogies and bacon, and this is what it's gonna be. So
It's a Polish burger.
it's a Polish burger. It's a Polish bacon burger. Any
about
food
right.
going down better than others? Like
The gels are fine, going down well. Dry food is hard to chew. My mouth's so dry.
okay.
We assume you like it. Okay.
Okay.
See you guys later.
See you guys later.
Bye, babe.
You're doing great, babe.
Thanks for the massage.
You're doing so awesome.
You guys heading out?
We're heading out.
You got a baby sack.
I have a baby right here.
Okay.
I have a whistle in my first aid kit right here.
Okay.
My name's Heather Connell from Chilliwack, BC, and I've been trail running for 23 years. So hoping to bring some of that experience to bear for Audrey today on the course, and we'll be taking on sort of 30 kilometers of more technical terrain.
Nice job.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Oh my gosh. What is
This is Bear.
You're doing amazing.
Bear?
Ballerina Bear.
Wow.
I think this will be probably the hardest part for Audrey. We'll be playing it conservative, making sure she can really lean into her strengths on that fast, flat last 30K.
Good job, so much fun.
Bye. All right. Heading out of Hancock, first time with the pacer. Let's do this.
Okay.
All right.
That went well. A little bit longer, 20 minutes.
Yeah, but she's doing so good.
Yeah.
She's in such better spirits than last time. She seems super steady. She's like doing her Audrey steady thing where she's just gonna crush and be on perfect timing. Yep, she's great.
Leaving Hancock, the course continues along the Continental Divide Trail, over Chalk Creek Pass, and down into Middle Fork Basin, before reaching an aid station at Lost Wonder Hut. Runners will then face the crux of the race, a high, exposed section of alpine single track along a broad, undulating ridge, which continues for 5 miles above treeline to Purgatory Aid. It's a section that's said to have given the race its name, and one that Audrey and Heather will have to do completely in the dark. But they'll eventually reach Monarch Pass Aid at mile 68, where we'll be waiting.
Okay. Picked up pacer number 1, Heather, and we just crested our first big climb. The climbing still feels very difficult, but still moving forward, so that's good. And it's nice to have company.
Coming into our aid station here.
Welcome in.
Thank you. Bib number 158 and pacer.
158 pacer, Audrey. Welcome. Yeah.
Come on in.
Audrey's getting a pizza down, Coca-Cola. And we're feeling good. We're feeling really good. She's making really good time. So we're going to head out here, cruise a little down, and then punch up to Purgatory.
Yeah, I'm going to take that to go. We can walk.
Okay.
I'm just going to try a little bit of this.
Okay.
So I was feeling just fine, but very sleepy. So I just took a caffeinated gel, and unfortunately I must have tried to eat it too fast. It made me puke.
Came up pretty quick.
I'm gonna stick to water for a few minutes here and see how that goes.
Last major climb.
Final push. Not final push.
Not final push. Final big climb.
Not quite.
So we're, maybe 1.1 miles out from Purgatory aid station. We're just troubleshooting a bit of sharpness in this left foot. It's moving a bit, hey? That discomfort. Yeah.
Migrating.
Foot pain's on the move, but so are we.
Okay. It was a long but beautiful night. I mean, it's not quite over yet, but it's getting brighter over there on the horizon.
Stefan.
It was a really rough night. I puked a little. I had a hard time keeping foot down. Moving painfully slowly, at least I feel like I'm moving really slowly. But we got through it, thanks to Heather.
She's moving so much faster than she thinks she is. So we make some good time there just by keeping moving forward. And
how's your foot feeling?
So bad. I honestly only hope that I can run some of this 50K. I'm not sure. I'm so excited.
Okay, let's get a seat. We're good. You got time. You got time.
I hope.
Thank you. My name's Coral. I'm from Squamish, BC. I came into trail running from road running maybe 10 years ago. I was really focused on half marathons, and then I found out about trail running and I got hooked. So I'm pacing Audrey for the last 50K. The last 50K are runnable, they're cruisy trails, it's a net downhill, and that is Audrey's strength. So I'm gonna be pushing her to run her maximum sustainable pace.
See you guys soon.
See you soon.
Have fun.
she's good.
She just needs to eat it.
She needs to eat. Her foot's bugging her for sure.
Okay.
We still made up tons of time. We passed people on the climbs. We crushed people on the descents. Not that it's about crushing people. So we were still just moving really steady. So it's hard. It's a hard day. But she's doing infinitely better than she thinks she is.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good.
Tired?
No.
It's a long night? No? You okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay.
No, it's my jam.
Okay.
That's what I live for.
So Audrey is doing really well. She beat her early projections from the tracking website by almost an hour. In fact, we got here just in time. She's got another 50 kilometers to go. She's got a fresh pacer in Coral. The sun's coming up. It's a beautiful morning. I think that's going to energize her and help her finish strong.
We're 4K out of Monarch.
We got the party hat on.
That's party hat because we're partying. It's almost 7 a.m., close to 24 hours. That's when the party starts.
Very excited.
So they say.
Yes. We're feeling a little rough.
But also,
I am.
crushing it, if I do say so myself.
Still moving. It's nice to pick up my second pacer, Coco.
Hell yeah! Gonna run her in. We've got some downhill here. It's a pretty trashy shit pile, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna run. Yeah. All right.
From Monarch Pass, Audrey and Coral dropped 2,500 feet on a mining road. With the worst of the climbing behind them, they'll pass through Fooza's Aid as they cover 20 miles of the relatively fast and flowy Colorado Trail, the longest continuous section of single track in the race. They'll eventually reach Blank's cabin, where Heather and I would be waiting at mile 84. and we'll get a chance to see them one last time back at Raspberry Gulch before the final 7 miles to the finish.
We're at mile 75, eating mini pancakes.
And listening to some banging tunes.
Look at you. We're making our way to Shavano aid station, and then after that, next stop will be Blank's cabin, where we'll see Jeff and Heather. Still feeling a little rough, but Coral's been not forcing, but recommending that I eat regularly. So I'm actually feeling a little better.
It's harassing.
She's so annoying. A little jog. Just slow steps.
Nice work.
So we are at the second last aid station, Blanks. There was a checkpoint about 2 miles back that Audrey went through maybe 15-20 minutes ago. So we're expecting her here any minute now.
So what's going on?
I'm doing a little comms action over here.
Yeah.
So we're catching some weary soldiers, but they're making it. It was cool last night and a little bit of rain yesterday evening, so it's nice, but it's so sunny and beautiful as usual in Colorado. Stephanie's out here whipping up some pancakes for us.
Pancakes got probably the best hash browns you'll ever have in your whole life.
Yeah, right now we have like 85,
Pretty
90
mid-pack,
runners
yeah.
left to come through the aid station, and then they have until 2 o'clock, and right now it's about 9:45, so not that many people have dropped recently, so that's a good sign.
Remind us where people might recognize you from and where you guys live.
Well, we went to Ecuador with this crazy guy, and that was a beautiful trip. Got to know everybody. Got to meet Audrey, which hopefully she'll be here soon.
Yeah.
And we both live in Fort Collins, Colorado, and just kind of been playing around. Stephanie's been doing a bunch of training and stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. I have my first 100K coming up next weekend,
Yep.
so stoked about it.
All right, coming into Blanks. We're running.
Woo!
So nice to see you.
So how are you feeling overall? Is it mostly your foot?
Yeah, it's mostly my foot that's bothering me. But I mean, also, I'm still struggling to get decent amount of calories in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just not feeling great overall.
Yeah.
Hey guys. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye! You're awesome!
We are on our way to the last aid station, Raspberry 2, which is 7 miles from the finish line. And we're running. We're shuffling and we're passing people. It's getting a little cool out, which is really nice. There's some cloud cover.
You're a pro now.
I'm a pro with the GoPro.
All right, we're at the last aid station, and we're expecting Audrey to come through any minute from that direction down the trail. She's going to head into the aid station over here and then climb up to this side there. But it's, I think, mostly rolling terrain to the finish. She's got this in the bag, so we're just hoping that she still has some legs.
Yep, that's Audrey.
Way to go, Audrey! Look at you, girl!
Woo!
Just gonna have a quick bite.
Yep.
And then get out of here
Yeah.
and get this over with.
You can smell the barn.
I'm in so much pain. I just
Let's get it done.
want to be put out of my misery.
You're doing great.
You are doing awesome. She's like, I think I'm gonna just specialize in 50 milers from now on. She said it like 5 times.
It's true.
We will see.
I'm over it. It's too long. Hurts too much.
Very long.
get down to business.
Okay.
All right, go get that buckle.
Good job, Audrey.
Thank
We
you.
got a Canadian.
That's it.
I got one more leg to do.
Oh, you're gonna jump in at the end.
I'm going to jump in at the end. I don't know if Audrey knows, but Coral knows. So I'm going to go quick change and then pick them up for the last 5K.
We just left the Raspberry 2 aid station. This is it. Last 10-ish kilometers. We've been cruising on all the runnable stuff. It's been fun. Definitely a little bit of adrenaline helping that. But yeah, I was just saying this morning when I came down tomorrow night with Heather and I felt so defeated. I couldn't understand that I still had 50K to go, even less how I would get it done. And the answer is with Coral. Yay! I'm getting it done. I've been suffering a lot, but also it's been a fun day.
Doing a really strong finish to the day.
Yeah, time to bring it home.
I dropped off Heather to join Audrey and Coral for the last 3 miles. And then I headed to the finish to wait for them to arrive.
None of us have ever towed the start line of a race to see that many women. And so to see a flood of 100 women on the start line this morning was so energizing, and to see Audrey as one of those 100 was pretty uplifting.
We're seeing so much growth in women's sports right now. There's no reason there shouldn't be 50% women in every race, so I really love what High Lonesome's doing. We're seeing so many women come here. There were so many women starting the race today. It's awesome. I'm super excited about that.
Really one of the hardest, but also most beautiful race. We would leapfrog, and it was like this camaraderie, especially on the out and back. It was so cool to see all the women, the age range too. I was running with a 6-year-old, and she finished. It was just really inspiring, and it kind of blew me away.
All right, folks, we got 5 runners left.
So it's the day after the race. The course was harder than I expected. The altitude definitely kicked my butt, but you know what? We got it done. Nothing but good things to say about the entire organization. The volunteers were amazing. The aid stations were great. Honestly, the course is so beautiful, super varied. The weather held up way better than anticipated. We were supposed to get a lot of rain. It didn't really happen, and it was a cooler year than the past two, I think. And the night was the most magical part. It was a full moon, bright sky. It was really beautiful out there. It was my first time having pacers, like I mentioned before, and honestly, I don't think I could have done it without Coral and Heather. They were so good at keeping me moving, just reminding me to eat, and just, yeah, overall, just helping me go forward even when I didn't really want to. At the end of the race, every runner received a bottle of Law's whiskey, which is super cool and makes for a really nice little souvenir. And I do want to thank Law's Whiskey for inviting me to run as their sponsored runner. So the course was very well marked, but I did appreciate having the GPX loaded onto my Coros Apex 2. It was really handy to see how far I was from the next checkpoint or aid station, and I also used the elevation profile a lot just to see how much further I had to climb. My Arc'teryx shoes were also amazing, no major foot problems. I was really comfortable the whole time, and they worked great for this type of terrain. And I also got to try a new Phoenix headlamp, which worked out really great, like super simple to use. It was very bright, it was also comfortable, and it felt lightweight, like I forgot that it was on my head. So really want to thank Coros, Arc'teryx, and Phoenix for being partners on this project. And last but not least, I want to thank Ross Monster. This truck, again, has been amazing. Thank you for housing us in style and allowing Jeff to chauffeur my pacers comfortably to the trailheads to pace me. So as you saw, my foot injury that took me out of the Eiger 100 last summer did flare up again this time. I was in a lot of pain, but I was determined to push through anyway. I really wanted to finish this race, and honestly, I think it was the right decision. 24 hours later, I already feel much better, and I'm confident that I'll recover in time for all of the summer adventures still to come. But first, we have one more stop to make here in Colorado before we head home. We're gonna swing by Law's Whiskey House for a private tour and a tasting.
All right, we are here at Law's Whiskey House, right here in Denver, Colorado. We love being able to be involved, and runners may have noticed at mile marker 29, when you're just over a little 12,000 feet, you do run straight by Law's Pass.
We got not only a tour, but a lesson on the entire distillation process.
Yeah, this is just all the grain cooking. This is where the starches are breaking down, getting those fermentable sugars. It doesn't just have kind of that like nice oatmeal. White American oak specifically has a lot of natural wood sugars and a lot of natural vanillin in it. So when you char this barrel, you're essentially just caramelizing those wood sugars, just like a creme brulee. And then as the whiskey ages, the barrel is truly pushing all of that whiskey in and pushing it back out. So it's constantly, the barrel's constantly breathing. Bourbon is one of the most regulated whiskeys out there. So we always say all bourbon is whiskey, but not all whiskey is bourbon.
And then it was finally time for a tasting.
So we're gonna start off with our 4-grain bourbon. So we do offer a 100% rye whiskey, which we'll try as well. We have 100% wheat whiskey. We also do a corn and a malted barley. All of this color does come from aging in the barrel. So barrel is a significant part of the process. And then again, arguably 60 to 75% of that actual flavor, aside from the grain flavor, comes from the barrel as well.
I was really surprised to learn that whiskey is actually clear. I thought it was going to be that brown golden color, but no, it comes out clear, and then of course it gets its flavor and color from the oak barrels. We also learned how to taste whiskey properly, so when we get home I can actually enjoy that bottle that I earned.
Yeah.